Okay, it's sent.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been so much fun.
You're welcome. I will be whispering for the first part of this video because I'm planning a surprise trip for David and I don't want him to accidentally hear. Although he can't usually hear me even when we're standing in the same room, looking each other in the eyes, and I'm almost yelling, so he's probably not gonna hear this. But I wanted to plan him a surprise trip because he has been so helpful and supportive of my content creation endeavors over the past 3-4 years. He films things for me, he takes photos for me, he participates in the videos, and he doesn't get any of the compensation for it. I guess he gets the joy of being able to hang out with me. But like, that's technically his free time and he's using it to help me achieve my goals. And so I had a really amazing month in April. April is Earth Month. It's a big month for creators who are focused on sustainability or talk about kind of anything eco-friendly related for obvious reasons. And so this past April, I had a lot of really amazing partnerships and I'm very proud of that. I put in a lot of hard work to get to this point. But so is David. And so I want to share this success with him, and that's why I'm planning this little trip. He's been talking about wanting to go hiking, be in the woods, get away from the city, so I thought it would be nice to do a little weekend trip up to Wisconsin. We're gonna go to Door County. I've never been before, I don't think he has either, but it's supposed to be a really lovely town with a lot of great. There's lots of nice hiking, and we can also bring Goose because a lot of it is dog friendly. But going along with that, I thought it'd be fun to share with you guys how I go about planning a trip. I do a lot of it in Notion using my kind of travel page that I've created. So I'm gonna walk you through that process. But first, I think we need to tell David that this trip is coming up. So let's do that. Okay, so David and I work for the same company, so I have the luxury of already knowing his boss. So I got clearance from her a few weeks ago to let him take a day off for this trip. But how I think I'm gonna tell him is I'm gonna send him a calendar invite and just label it surprise trip. And then in the body, just like a quick little surprise, like you don't have to work next week. Well, he has to work some of next week, but not all of next week. And then I'm gonna direct him to my bedside table because in there I put a card where I just wrote some extra things about how thankful I am for him and for all his help over the past few years, and especially earlier this month in April, and then some other probably sappy things. So he'll go read that, he'll learn where it is that we're going, and then hopefully he'll be excited. So we're gonna do it. Okay, I have the invite typed out. Now I just need to press send. I don't know why I'm nervous. Why am I so nervous? This is exciting. And now I can't do it. Sent. Okay, it's sent. This is gonna be really anticlimactic if he's not sitting at his desk right now, but let's go see. Let's wait for Dad. Go see. We're waiting to see if he notices.
Hooray! Thank you so much. What if I just didn't look at that for like 2 hours? You're gonna sit.
I was wondering that.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been so much fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah, some time outside the city will be great. Here it is.
Oh, it's like almost like a little cabin.
Oh, it's a nice little deck.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful.
Hooray!
Yay.
Wisconsin time.
Oops, you wanna go to Door County? Okay, we are now 2.5 days out from this trip. I decided it's probably time for me to start planning it.
Duh.
Well, more like planning what we're gonna do. Plan the big stuff. Like we have the Airbnb already, that's all done. Which, side note, can we talk about Airbnb for a minute? It's been brought to my attention that I have an unpopular opinion here because I've seen so many videos over the past month or two of people just absolutely on Airbnb. Am I allowed to swear on here? Is YouTube allow that? It's my channel, so I can do what I want, right? That's censorship? Whatever, they were shitting on Airbnb. And they were like, hotels are way better. And I was so surprised because I love Airbnbs. I love having a whole home to myself. I love being able to make food and not having to eat out every single night. It's expensive. It's usually not very healthy. You kind of start to feel like trash. I love having my own food. Maybe that's just because I have IBS and I'm very picky. But like being able to microwave something, amazing. And then also there's like no other people around. You know, some stranger doesn't have a room right next to you. It's not like living in a very fancy dorm room room for 7 days. Like, you're in someone's house, you're in a home. To me, it makes the experience feel a lot more immersive. Some people are saying they're annoyed that they have to like take the trash out or like put the sheets in the laundry or something. I've never had an Airbnb host be that picky with me, knock on wood. Usually they're just like, yeah, can you take the trash out? Can you just leave your towels in the bathroom? They're not very hard chores. I would barely even call them chores. I don't know. Again, maybe I've just gotten really lucky with my Airbnb experiences, but I love them and I will probably never go back to hotels, but I digress. So Airbnb is all set and I need to plan out what we're gonna do. There's supposed to be a lot of good hiking, a lot of really pretty beaches, a lot of really great places to eat, which I know I just got done saying that I don't like to eat out all the time on vacation, but I do want to eat out at least a few times because there seem to be a lot of good restaurants and bakeries and coffee shops to try out, and I'm all about that. I also really want to go kayaking while we're there because they're supposed to have a really good kayak tour that like shows you all these cliffs and caves and stuff, and I'm like, that sounds like something outdoors Morgan would like. So I'm gonna start looking into all of that, and I want to show you guys how I plan it all and keep it all very organized in my Notion template. So let's move over to that. Alright guys, voiceover Morgan here, ready to take you through my travel hub. So down here I've got my vacation calendar where I can log and track any of my trips for the upcoming year. And then on the right I've got my bucket list, which is where I log all the places that I am dreaming of going to. Then up here we've got a little countdown. I made this widget in widgetbox.app. And what I'm going to do now is add a new upcoming trip. So that pulls up my new trip template where I can enter the name of my destination and add the dates of my trip. Then to create the body of the page, I just click on this new trip template button. I'm also going to update the cover photo to make it more Wisconsin-y. Down here I can embed a map of my destination. I'm going to do that later. And then right here I could add in any flight information, but we're not flying so we won't do that. And then we've got these other fillable sections all ready to go so we can have all of our information easily accessible in one place. Over here, these are my favorite. These are the packing list templates. I have one for warm weather, for cold weather, and for goose, and you can completely customize them to whatever you would need for one of those types of trips. Now in this bottom section, this is where I will record any restaurants or activities that I want to do. And then in the itinerary, I can click through each day. I can add a rough outline of what we want to do, add notes. I can link to activities and restaurants so that I can easily access tickets or menus or anything that we might need for that particular activity. And now I'm going to go ahead and fill all this in off camera because I simply cannot narrate it all, and on camera Morgan will meet you back here to go over it when it's done. Okay, we've done it. We've got the trip outlined. So I've got my map put in, and then we've got our accommodation info, which I'm gonna block out most of this because it's kind of confidential, but it's there, believe me, and very helpful. Then over here we've got my packing list. So I just consolidated and put into a toggle my packing list, Goose's packing list, and see everything he needs here. And then all of my goodies. And then down here, so we've got a rough itinerary. I found a bunch of different restaurants that I want to try out. Obviously we're not going to be able to go to all of them, but we'll see how many we can fit in. And then I found some hiking trails, a drive-in theater in case we have kind of a chill night, and a kayak tour, which I'm very excited about. And over here you can see our itinerary. So we have day one, just a rough outline. None of this is set in stone, but I like to have an idea of what we're gonna do. And then I'll figure out what we're gonna get breakfast and dinner, etc. probably tomorrow, but I just wanted to at least get the time's blocked off for now. Day 3, we'll do the kayaking. Definitely want to get ice cream somewhere because a lot of the websites I've looked at said that Door County has really good ice cream, which makes sense because I think their whole thing is like cheese and dairy. And then again, in this view, you can just see all 3 days together, which is so satisfying to me. And I can also access all of this from my phone, so it'll be really easy for us to keep track of everything while we're on the go. So that's it for planning. You like the way that I have this all organized? You're like, wow, that really works for my brain. I want to be able to do that too. This whole template is available in my planner for the Planet Notion pack, which I will link up here. It also has a weekly planner, goal setting, fitness hub, reading list, a meal planning section, tons of different sections to help you keep your life organized and more sustainable. So check that out if you would like. Otherwise, next thing we need to do is pack. I'm going to challenge myself to pack everything into this very weekend-sized suitcase. And I know what you're thinking, Morgan, it should be very easy to fit a weekend's worth of stuff into a weekend-sized suitcase. Not for me. I'm a chronic overpacker. This usually lasts me one night. We're going for 3. So We'll see how this goes. So we'll be doing some hiking, but it's Wisconsin, so it's not gonna be super intense hiking. So I don't know if I really need my hiking boots. I also don't know what else I would hike in. It's just that they're extremely bulky and take up like a fourth of my suitcase. Like, look at that. They think they are the main character. I'm mostly just gonna pack comfy clothes. The only thing is it's supposed to be like 70s during the day, but then it's gonna be cooler in the morning and at night. Which basically means I have to pack for every type of weather, except for like a snowstorm. Which is gonna take up a lot more room. Like, I wanna bring this sweater for a cozy evening by the fire. Can you picture it? But again, it takes up so much room. Another fourth of my suitcase. And there's still a lot more that needs to go in here. So I did laundry last night, and I realized I didn't put any of my socks in, so all my socks are smelly. I think I'm gonna have to go hand wash them. Alright, so while the socks soak, we're gonna pack my toiletry bag. Usually I can fit skincare, shower stuff, then I have a different bag for makeup, but I'm hoping to be able to fit it all in this one. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time outdoors, so I don't really envision myself putting a lot of makeup on, so we'll see if we can get it all to fit. I've had this bag for probably like 4 years now. As you can see, it's a tad dirty, but it works really great. It has these two nice pockets up at the top where I can keep all of my smaller things. It's where I put my cotton rounds, and then the sides also open up as well, which is great for like makeup brushes, any additional sprays I want to bring, medicines, razors, anything that's kind of thin. It's really well in there. And then it all hangs up, which is also super convenient. So I filmed literally nothing else last night because I started getting packing anxiety. I was really struggling to pack for the weather because I was like, I don't want to be too hot, I don't want to be too cold. Will I want to wear shorts while we're kayaking? Will I want to wear pants while we're kayaking? Will I want to wear a swimsuit while we're kayaking in case I want to get in the water? But like, the water will definitely be too cold. But what if it's not? And then I couldn't fit everything in my weekend bag, and I was like, I'll just bring an extra tote bag and an extra backpack. And then I was like, now I have 4 bags. And David was like, just put it all in your big suitcase. And I was like, but how embarrassing is that I literally need to bring a full-size checked bag for 3 nights? Why am I like this? Rain jacket, vest, big sweaters. It's mostly the big sweaters that cause the issue. Hiking boots, multiple t-shirts, and then all my toiletry stuff will go here. I also have my tech bag, and then this bag's kind of fun. I had a couple canvases left from my paint and sip night, and so I was like, could be cute to bring some canvases, and if we have a nice slow evening, which we probably will, we can get out our little canvases and like paint the sunset or something. And then I also packed this game. It's just a 2-player game, which is perfect because David and I are 2 people, which is obvious. And yeah, I feel like there's not very many 2-player games that are really fun, so that's why I like this one, so we're gonna bring it. And yeah, I think that's it for now. I'm gonna finish getting all of this together, and then we're gonna get the car packed up, and then hopefully we'll be off in the next 30 minutes. Maybe. Hopefully. This is such a stupid amount of stuff for 3 days. 8 bags later.
8 bags.
We're on our way. There's Goose. There he is. Alright, we made it to our Airbnb. It's about 6:50. We actually got up to Door County around 1 o'clock. We stopped at this cafe to grab lunch, and the name of the cafe is now escaping me. A moment. What was the name of the cafe? Oh boy. It was called Blue Front Cafe. I got this wrap. Oh, David's gonna open the door and screw up my camera placement. Yeah?
I need to come in so I can start the coals.
Okay. David is getting things ready so we can grill. What are you doing?
He's being excited.
And we're gonna let him back out the door. So I got this wrap. It was the most Midwestern wrap I've ever had. It was apples, cherry jam, spinach, walnuts, and some sort of cheese sauce mixture. It wasn't really a sauce. It was like a fine cheese. I don't know how to describe it. It was really good. It was kind of like blue cheese, but I don't really like blue cheese, so I don't want to confidently say that it was just blue cheese. There was something else going on. Anyways, it felt like I was eating the state of Michigan, which I know we're in Wisconsin, but I associate all those things with Michigan, so it felt like Michigan, but you get it. So we ate our food by the water in Cave Point County Park, and then we did like a 1.5 mile hike, and the end of the hike led us to this dog park, well, dog beach, and I was expecting it to be like kind of small. Like, I wasn't expecting to be super impressed. We got there and it was massive, and the best part is that there was like nobody there. We saw maybe 15 to 20 other people, and like I said, this beach was massive, so it pretty much felt like a private beach, and Goose loved it. We had to run all around with him. He went in the water. He was a little nervous about the waves, even though the waves were very small. The water was practically still, but he got used to it, and he went in and he chased his ball, and he ate a lot of sticks, and he tried to dig a lot of holes, but it was so much fun. And now we're finally at our Airbnb. We're gonna grill, have some wine, watch the sunset. I desperately need to take a shower, and then tomorrow we are gonna go kayaking, so that's what we have to look forward to. But I think for now it's good night, and good night from Goose too. Boop. We're on our way to kayaking.
Time to paddle.
Last night we grilled. I spilled red wine on my white sweatpants. It happened immediately. I put the pants on, I poured the wine, I walked outside, I had red wine on my pants. But red wine comes out with hydrogen peroxide. Bless you. Red wine comes out with hydrogen peroxide, which I was like, we don't have any of that, and it's too late to go buy some. But then David has an emergency pack for Goose that has hydrogen peroxide in it to make him throw up if he eats something that he shouldn't eat. So I was able to use that. It was a very different emergency than it was intended for, but it worked. Anyways, we're on our way to kayaking now. There's an option between a singular kayak or a double kayak. I would like to do the double one.
So that I can do all the work.
That's not true.
That literally admitted to this off camera. Don't be fooled.
Just in case I get tired and I don't want to paddle anymore, at least you're there to do some of the paddling so that I don't get left behind and die out at sea in Lake Michigan.
It's a politician's way of saying this, so you don't have to do any work.
I would do some of the work. I want to get my kayaking exercise on, but sometimes I get tired.
It's good to be tired. That means your muscles are growing and you're building endurance. You're supposed to be tired when you're working out.
I don't like to be tired when I work out.
That's not working.
Yeah, it is, as long as you get your heart rate up.
Comment below, is it working out if you're not getting tired?
As long as your heart rate is up. Anyways, we'll see what kind of kayak we do. Alright, good morning. This is our last day in Door County. Yesterday, we did the kayaking. It was a lot of fun. We ended up doing a double kayak, mostly because that's pretty much all that they had. They only had 2 singles, and I was immediately like, somebody else can take those. David and I want to be together, both of us. No one wants to leave the other behind. There was one part where you could do cliff jumping, and we decided not to do that because the water was really cold, and I did not want to be freezing cold for the hour-long kayak trip back. After kayaking, we went and got lunch at Harbor Fish Market and Grill.
It was good. Very fresh fish and chips. Yes, I'm very excited to talk about fish. Fried perch with French fries, coleslaw, buttered rye bread, and a pickle. I've been to many a fish fry, but I've never had that quite a spread. A little on the pricey side, is over 30 bucks. I was like, dang, that's like Chicago prices, but when in Rome, or
when in
Door County,
Wisconsin. I got lobster mac and cheese, which I'd never tried lobster before, and it was pretty decent. Again, overpriced in my opinion, but I guess lobster is usually expensive, but still kind of pricey. I didn't really want to pay $40 for lunch, but I did. But then we ate the leftovers for dinner, so it kind of evened out. In the evening, we made a fire and we painted.
Oh, can I show them my lighthouse?
Sure.
This is...
Should we reveal them at the same time? Oh. 1, 2, 3. Mine technically isn't done, but it's supposed to be a painting of the cabin that we're staying in.
Mine's definitely done, and I'm really proud of what I did with the water here. Specifically, the splashes on the rocks. It's very Bob Ross inspired.
I wish that
the lighthouse
was centered.
It's not centered?
Look.
Oh,
it's like
yeah, the top kind of looks like preschool quality.
It's your first painting in a long time.
A long time, yeah, not ever.
Yeah, mine I still need to add some depth and something inside the door. Anyways, you can feel free to vote for whoever's you like best.
So show a video of the outside of the house for comparison, and then we'll have to find a red lighthouse in the middle of the sea to compare mine against.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. So anyways, we painted, we sat by the fire, we listened to folklore. That's my ideal life. It's paint, listen to Taylor Swift, and sit by a fire every evening forever.
Reasonable.
And today, I think we're gonna go do a little morning hike with Goosey, pack some sandwiches, eat some lunch out there, and who knows what we'll do with the rest of the day. But I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. I just want to be able to focus on enjoying today. And being new to YouTube, I think I've discovered that I can never be a travel vlogger because it's a lot to think about when you're trying to just like enjoy vacation but also capture it. And I feel like I captured a lot of good memories this weekend, but also my brain's a little bit more tired than I'd like it to be, and I just don't want to think about it the rest of the trip, if that makes sense. So thank you for joining us. It sounded really formal. Thank you for hanging out with us, and I'll see you in the next video.
What did you got sticks?